Alright everyone, we got ourselves the new trailer for the new units dropping in the next patch. Let's take a look.
Limbus Company.
So it's gonna be Pequod, Heathcliff. Kind of suitable because I think Ishmael and Heathcliff are actually kind of best friends right now. So Pequod being potentially Ishmael's best friend in another life is actually pretty appropriate. And then we got the Pequod's first mate. I cannot remember the original guy's name, but yeah.
이상이라 부르게. 피쿼드의 1등 항해사를 맡고 있지. 자, 고래의 이 부분을
Piercing.
공격하는 것이오.
One, two, one, two.
내기 어렵다면 한 곳을 빠르게 여러 번 쑤셨어.
1, 2,
이런
maybe?
효과를 갖는
Looks like all
것이
2 coins.
이스마엘 선장께서는 그대들의 죽음을 명하지 않았소.
There it is. Captain Ishmael. Ho ho ho. Fly multiple strikes. Captain Ishmael has not ordered you to death. That means they are going to be Captain Ahab ID. That's 100% what's gonna happen. Jeez, that's a rough one. Oh, that was like 3 hits. Okay, that's a bunch of hits. How many coins is this? I can hear so many sound effects. Is it another Dichi Rodion moment? Like, how am I supposed to tell how many punches is the first thing actually hitting? 1, 2, 3? 1, 2 maybe? It's either 2 or 3. That's like 3, I think. I think that's 3. That's either 3 or 4. This one's definitely 4. This one's definitely 4. Oh, finds way back to Cafe. That's the Heathcliff storyline. So even in the other world, as this ID, he still has Cafe. Okay, cool. So thanks to Yisang here, we know that Ishmael is Ahab 100%. So okay, there's that. Then we got the Pequod Heathcliff. All of them seem to be piercing. Doesn't look like there's anything else happening. Piercing. I'm thinking it's either gonna be sinking or maybe poise. Maybe even bleed. I don't know. Because they released poise bleed as an archetype. So maybe these two could be part of that archetype, although they're not twin hooks. So they should not be part of that archetype anyway. So yeah, not sure about this at all, but triple pierce, I mean, that's pretty good. Because Ishmael's ego, the WoW ego, actually does provide additional pierce damage to all of her allies. So maybe the Captain Ahab ID is meant to pair well with the WoW ego that is in the paid battle pass. So because of that, you're probably going to run the entire Pequod crew and they should all be piercing because the WoW ego gives piercing damage up as well as regular damage up. Or is it just piercing power up or something like that? It just gives some bonuses to piercing. So that's why it should all be piercing related. It should be poise as well, because the ego gives poise to random allies. So if you're going to run the Pequod team with Ishmael, then it should also be related to poise. So I suspect that these characters here should also have some poise mechanics inside of them. So yeah, I think that's all I can theorize from the ego as well as the Pequod crew. Yep. Besides that, last patch, as in like the patch they did on the same day, they actually nerfed the dungeon. They made it a lot easier to defeat the boss because a lot of the parts were lowered HP and also lowered resistances. And I think they also nerfed the final boss, making it much easier to handle. But in the end, for the final boss, in case you guys don't know, Ishmael is actually immortal. She cannot die. I think even when you fight the middle, you actually cannot die as Ishmael or something like that, because Ishmael is a core character, so they made it so that she would not die. Yeah, so that is also pretty interesting. I only found out after I cleared the dungeon. Apparently Ishmael just straight up cannot get staggered and cannot die or something along those lines. Yeah, so pretty cool. Besides that, there is not much else that's very interesting here. There will be some issues here that they will do in the 7th, on December 7th. Some of the characters' portraits loaded incorrectly. I think I noticed that as well, but I just didn't care because it was a very minor thing. And then certain summon units were sometimes unkillable. Did not encounter this throughout my dungeon, so I'm not sure what they're talking about in this one. Right, so I think that is it for this video. So New IDs is Pequod and Harpooner, sorry, Pequod Harpooner as well as Pequod First Mate, which means that the last two IDs will probably be Captain Ahab Ishmael as well as Pip something. We don't know who the Pip is, but I'm thinking it's maybe gonna be Dawn as Pip, because I don't know, it just feels correct in that regard. I don't know, I don't even know if Pip is actually going to be an ID, but I think he should be, because he was actually this is spoilers, but he does get sucked by Ahab at the end of the dungeon, so he's probably quite impactful, right? So they should release a Pequod ID for Pip as well, right? So that's it. Any theories you have or any information you might have, feel free to just leave in the comments, and thank you for watching. Goodbye, everyone.